Hello everyone, welcome back to another video about the offshore construction vessel project. It's been a little while since I uploaded my last time-lapse video, pretty much because there isn't a lot of building going on right now. It's a lot of messing around and getting stubborn systems to work. Of course, the interior has also been completed by CoolG2007, a huge thank you to him for helping me out with this project. So today I'm going to give you a small tour, nothing too revealing because I still want this boat to be a bit of a surprise when it's revealed. And don't worry, I'll put out a full video explaining every detail of the ship once it's on the workshop. Also, I've given the ship a name. It's called the Beluga. The reason for this is that I thought it would be cool to stick to sea creature names since the ribs that I released were both orcas. Now that the ship is able to float, I'll spawn it right off the coast of the creative island and let's get to touring it. This is the finished elevator. It covers 8 floors and is actually pretty speedy. It also has a hatch up top to escape if ever the power goes out. There's a distance sensor at the top of the elevator column, and it gives real-time distance from the top of the ship to the top of the elevator. When you hit a button, the target distance becomes a set value. That value depends on the floor you clicked on, and the difference between the current distance and desired distance is then given as a speed signal to the sliding rails. This creates a very nice smoothing effect as the elevator goes closer to its destination. Once the desired floor is reached, a signal is sent out to the doors and rail brakes to stop the elevator and let the player through. There's also a magnetic connector on the side that activates and grabs the elevator, preventing it from moving up and down due to other rogue forces. This is extremely important when the ship is on the move, as waves and the general tilt of the ship can cause the elevator to malfunction. On the first floor, we have a generally unfinished space, made for storage and access to be able to fix damaged parts of the hull. There's really nothing here aside from that. The second deck contains the engine room and some other accommodations, made of course by CoolG2007, which I'm not going to show just yet for the sake of a good surprise. The third deck gives us access to the launch bays on each side, as well as a main walkout onto the work deck. Each of the bays are meant to handle one of my Orca 27-foot ribs, but they'll be able to handle most dinghies and small craft. Moving up to deck 4, we have accommodations with some more specialized rooms, as well as more walkouts outside. The sides of the ship both have a path which leads all the way up to the bow platform. On deck 5 we have more accommodations, and the main restaurant/galley area is located here as well. Going up one more deck we have a nice lounge for all the crew, as well as doors to access the exterior. Finally, on deck 7 we have a bridge, which I'll come back to. This would seem like the last level, but it's actually not. If I hop in the elevator and go up one more deck, I can walk out to the expansive helipad and refueling station. For now, let's journey down to deck 3, from which we can get to the main work deck of the vessel. Out here you have a couple of neat features so far. Firstly, we have this massive crane, which we can get up into and control. The cool thing is, this massive crane isn't stationary. If the operator wants to, they can move it anywhere they please throughout the whole deck. As you may have noticed, the end of the crane is also pretty bare bones. Well, actually that's because the attachments are stored inside the main deck. The crane is able to attach a claw, normal magnet, and container holder all onto the same point. In the future, users will be able to make their own attachments for a variety of different tasks and missions. Getting out of the crane and onto the main deck, we have a few winches carefully laid out at each corner. These can be useful for securing small items and towing things up onto the deck. The ship also features 2 movable hatches. You can place one set of containers on them and move them down to make the crane operational again. You would also be able to stack containers on these if you needed the space really badly. Credit for this idea goes to Tom DRV, a member of my Discord server. Alright, now that I've shown you some of the cool features of this vessel, let's actually get it up and running. Up on the bridge deck, we have to head to the engine control console on the left. Power it up. I know the monitor isn't finished, and let's engage both of the fuel pumps. Now before we start them, you'll need to type in the desired RPS for both engines in this keypad. I'll start with 10. I wouldn't recommend going anywhere over 20. Now we can start their compressors and wait for them to get up to speed. Perfect, our engines are idling at around 10 rotations per second. We can now go to the captain's chair and crank this throttle lever to 0.5. This is equivalent to 10 rotations per second. This won't do anything just yet, but when I go back to the engine control console and transfer both engines to the captain, they will be controllable by that throttle lever. In the captain's chair, we can see that right now if I try to move the ship, nothing will happen. This is because I haven't linked any of the thrusters to either keypad, WASD or the arrow keys. So, on the left, I can link each thruster, and there are 3 of them, port, starboard, and front, to either keypad that I want. To keep things simple, let's link all 3 thrusters to WASD. Now we can use WS to engage and disengage the clutch, and AD to steer. Because of the 3 thruster system, this ship ends up being very maneuverable and easy to dock. The point of the link system is to be very customizable. The captain can drive the ship using any of its 3 thrusters at any angle at any amount of power. That's pretty much what I've been working on so far. I'm planning to start wrapping up the bridge, and after that, it'll be a lot of small things here and there. And then finally, I'll move on to the exterior detailing for the last step. This was a bit of a shorter video, mainly because I don't want to show too much of this boat. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it, and there probably won't be any more news on this project until it's released. With that all said, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.